It's Gloria with Glory Bee Resale, and I'm here to do a quick what sold for the week of February 16th to the 22nd. And this probably will be fairly quick because it was kind of a slow week. And with that being said, let's get started. First thing to sell was this LL Bean 100% cotton knit diamond design sweater cardigan, and this sold for I took an offer of $15. I may have even sent that. Um, on some of my clothing item, or a lot of it, I'm probably getting a little more aggressive on pricing. So this sold for $15, cost me $5.99, and I'm okay with that. Not a great sale, but I wanted to get rid of clothing. Next item to sell was this Abercrombie and Fitch yellow striped muscle shirt, and this looks better in person than it does here. These are actually in very good condition. Um, and this sold for $15. Cost to me was 69¢. Next item to sell, and this I just got listed. I picked these up at a yard sale at the end of the summer, maybe the fall, and I paid $5. They sold for $45, and they sold, I want to say, I think it only took a few hours, no less than 24, but I think it was more like 2 or 3 hours they were sold. So that was a quick sale that should not have been sitting around for as long as it was, but I'm trying to just get through everything, get rid of everything here. And next item to sell was this pair of Johnston& and Murphy Aristocrat brown leather lace-up shoes. These I picked up at a yard sale also. Um, I believe $5, $4 or $5, but I think it was probably 5. And I sold them for $29. Next item to sell was this 1940s authentic prescription pad, and this sold for $10.20, and the cost to me on them, no more than 50¢. I got a lot of them at the time. Next item to sell, and if you wouldn't mind, give me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Next thing to sell was another Abercrombie and Fitch blue striped moose logo shirt, and this sold for $25, and the cost to me on it was 69¢. Again, I've had these a little over a year. I got these at the yard sale the year before, and I got a lot of them. So they worked out to 69¢each, and I got a lot of them, multiple of them, and all in very good condition. So they're a bread and butter that sell regularly. Next item to sell, and this was something that I've had sitting around forever, at least a couple years, 2, 3 years. And I decided to put it onto a 1970s male model, and it sold pretty quickly after that. And not for a lot. I didn't raise the price. I just left it at the price I had it on and just put it on a man. And this sold for $23.80. Cost to me on it was $5.99, and this, I believe, went overseas. And again, just trying to move things along and get my money back out of them. And a little extra's good enough for me right now. Next item to sell was this vintage pair of 70s bath towels. And these also didn't take very long to sell. I don't remember exactly, but it was fairly quickly after I listed them. And they sold for $35, and the cost to me on them was 99 cents each. So, $1.98. Next item to sell was this vintage wooden heart wall shelf, and this sold for $32. Cost to me on it was $1. Next item to sell was this vintage 1975 handmade and signed little stool. This sold for $55. Cost to me on it was $5. Next item to sell over on Mercari was this lot of 3 houses. You can see they're just different little painted houses, just they're flat. And I had bought 5 at the time. The other two more had sold previously. And then somebody offered me 52.80 for the bundle of 3 of these, and I accepted it. And these were $2.99 each. So for $9, I sold them for 52.80. That was the only things I sold that week on Mercari. Etsy. The first thing to sell on Etsy was this vintage wood candle box. This sold for $29, and the cost to me was $1. Picked that up at a yard sale. Next item, and I had this for a long time. This was in my booth for a long time, and I took it home. It wasn't as long once I listed it online. It sold, uh, you know, within a few months, I think. Next item to sell was this vintage recipe box. It was painted on the front. This sold for $18, and the cost to me on it was $2.50. I picked this up at a vintage mall in Apollo, PA. I bought this, and then I also bought this shelf there too, the same day. And this sold for $59, and the cost to me on it was $15. It's a very pretty little shelf, I thought, so I picked it up, and neither one took all that long to sell. And I'll say within a month. I don't know the exact time it took to sell. Next item to sell was this pair of deer candle holders. These were just a metal, I'm gonna say like a pot metal, pressed together. And these sold for $20, and the cost to me was $2. I bought these at a yard sale also last summer. The next thing to sell was this wall pocket. If you can see it here on the wall, this is what it looked like outside of the wall. Just a pottery slab with a half pot on top of it. And this sold for $27. So whoever bought this had a $10 coupon from my shop for something. I'm not sure. I have a few different coupons that are going on. But they got 10% off, so it was $27. Cost to me was $3.99. Next item to sell was this vintage holy water Mother Mary plastic wall hanging. And this sold for $25. And the cost to me on it was probably about 25 cents. I bought this in a lot of stuff, um, at a church sale, and I feel like it was one price for the big pile. This probably cost about 25 cents. Next item to sell was this Corningware teapot, and this sold for $28. Cost to me was $5. And the last thing to sell on Etsy was this set of grapes. These are vintage mid-century lucite grapes, and these sold for $79, and the cost to me on them was $7.89. So that one was a nice profit. And these I picked up at a um, antique mall, maybe about an hour from here. I forget. Maybe Freiburg, I think. I'm not positive, but I think that was the name of the town. And that was everything that I sold for the week of February 16th to the 22nd. If you still stuck around, if you could give me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you again soon with the next week's What Sold video. Thanks for watching. Bye.